Hey guys, you are welcome back to another episode on In the Meantime. My name is Courage. I am the host on here and I am super excited to welcome you because this is going to be a really special episode. You guys know I've been on a journey of taking you guys through my 4 pillars of life, which is the emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental health as a whole human being. So today we will be tackling one of those foundations, which is physical. And I have a very special guest here to help me take us through all of that. But before we do that, I just really want to encourage you, if you haven't subscribed and joined the family, if you're on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that button. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, join the community. It is a living, breathing community and would love to see you there. Would love to go with you on your journey of intentional living. So, Dana, you are welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. You look cute, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You too. You always do.
But before we get to know you a little bit more as we get into the episode, I have an icebreaker question that I ask everyone who sits on that chair.
Okay. Let's see.
So, what is one thing that you've learned this year or maybe just recently?
Ooh. Actually, I've been trying to learn how to do trading.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like stocks?
And that's been challenging because it's very different from what I do and what I'm usually interested in.
Yeah.
But that's been an interesting thing to learn. It's kind of not the most interesting answer.
Like, wow.
I'm sorry, but but that is something I try to learn.
Yeah, but aside from that, what lesson have you learned in 2025? Like, what has life been teaching you?
To have more fun, actually, because I used to be a very not exactly disciplined. I'm still disciplined, but in the sense of routine, I must do A, B, C, D, and I must excel in all. Wow. But there have been life circumstances that have not allowed me to excel in the way that I wanted in certain things, and I've had to learn to be okay with that. And when I learned to be okay with that, I was actually wait, it's actually not a big deal. And I had more fulfillment and fun overall because I got to do more things. I'd rather be fulfilled in 5 aspects of life than focused on one and being like the best at one. So that's something I've been challenging myself to do and learned a lot this year, I would say.
Yeah, I love that so much. Like, there's this thing I've been telling myself lately and just reminding myself, because I often tell people that I'm the most unserious person they'll ever meet. And it's really crazy because like I'm a kind of by the book person. I love a good routine. I love when I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing what I'm doing, you know. But at the same time, I also don't take life that seriously. But I think it takes a lot of discernment, because I always pray to God. I'm like, let me not be serious about things that I'm supposed to be unserious about. Yeah. And let me be serious about the things that actually matter. Because like you have to have fun in your life. If not, you will lose the joy of everyday life.
Yeah,
you know,
100% agreed. Yeah.
But let us know, like, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who's Dana? Where is she from? How long have you been in Dubai? And all the cute, nice things.
So, I'm from Tunisia originally, but I was actually born and raised here. So I'm a Dubai kid, as they say. I have the international accent and all the weird quirks. But fun fact, I've only visited my home country once. So that's weird.
We need to take you back.
Yeah, yes. I think so too. I'm currently studying physiotherapy, but I'm also working freelance as a personal trainer while I'm studying. My previous degree in education is I have a bachelor's in nutrition science and biochemistry, and I worked in that field for a while until I decided to pursue physiotherapy because I loved sports so much. Yeah. I also love doing sports in general, as I kind of mentioned.
Very athletic woman.
Yeah. I have like a bit of like, I get bored and I love to try new things. This is the
But
vibe.
again, back to the fun. And not forgetting to enjoy your life. Yeah.
So that's how I keep transitioning between sports. I started in figure skating and now I'm doing powerlifting. So
wait, you did figure skating?
Yes, I competed in that for a while.
Wow. Okay, but in total, how many sports have you done?
Ooh, I've done figure skating. I've done like running and triathlon, CrossFit, and I've done powerlifting These are the things I did like competitively.
Guys, she actually has real muscles, like actual muscles.
They're not
like,
balloons.
Yes, the actual muscles. But I love that so much. And like if someone looks at you from afar, they're like, no, not possible. But then getting to know you and just all the things that you have tried, or all the things that you have actually pushed yourself to do, I think is actually really encouraging. Like when you set your mind to something, you can do it. But then also seeing how you have maneuvered your way into finding a good system and a good rhythm for yourself, and getting to do the things that you actually like and enjoy doing. But then, so you told me about your journey of, doing sports, competing, and then transitioning to now being a personal trainer and going back to the gym and just doing normal everyday gym stuff.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find out from you what inspired that transition from being full on in sports and competing to taking a step back and being no, I want to do something a little bit more slow paced.
So originally, the reason I started doing any sport was actually to lose weight, because there was a point where I was very, very overweight, and I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that caused me to gain a lot of weight very fast. And to lose that weight, I started doing exercise, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell in love with sport in general and the dopamine hit of sport, and then I got into competitive sport. And I think I got carried away in that, because once you're in that zone, you just want to be better, faster, stronger, blah blah blah. And especially I joined quite a few teams in this time period, and having that environment always pushes you, and there's there's competition within the team of who's the best and wanting to be better, and
you would always want to keep going.
And you're never, it's like a hunger that's never satiated, because you're always like, okay, now I achieved this milestone, now I want more,
and we never get satisfied as human beings also.
It's the same thing with, I think, money and food maybe.
Keep wanting more.
So there was a point where I was pushing myself so much that I lost the reason that I started the whole thing. I started this to be healthy and also to have fun. When I started doing sports, I loved it. It was so much fun for me. But when I was at my peak performance, let's call it, it was the least fun for me. I was exercising over 20 hours per week. And it became like I need to, I must do this session. It wasn't I get to do
this.
And that's when I was like, and at the same time, my body started to fall apart for this. I was also my skinniest at this point, and it was not healthy. Despite receiving compliments about the way I looked, internally, things were not going well. My blood work wasn't good. I was hormonally, nothing was going good. I lost my period at some point, and I covered it up with birth control. Things were just not going well. Body was falling apart. I was always in a bad mood and cranky. And I was
hormones were everywhere.
So I was like, no, this needs to go. Mentally, I was also it was just falling apart. I was not enjoying anything. It was all about numbers and I have to be this good. And I was like, wait, I lost sight of the whole point.
The whole reason why I started it.
It's not like I'm being paid to be an athlete. Why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through as if I'm going to the Olympics or something? I don't know. And then I was like, okay, what went wrong here? And it was, to me, I was like, I'm idolizing these the numbers and the competitive, all the accolades from competing over what actually mattered to me the most, which is I want a healthy body that is functional. And I also love to inspire women in general to partake in sport, especially in this region. I feel women are not as frequently encouraged. So I wanted to, as an Arab woman, I wanted to be someone
a source of inspiration.
A source of inspiration just by doing it. And third thing, I wanted to have fun. I started to have when I started, I was having so much fun, and I got to a point
actually fitness and health is actually so much more fun. I feel it's just because of the way the industry has taken it. That's why we've lost the joy of it, or we don't even see the use of it anymore. Because you just feel like you're trying to chase numbers or trying to be a certain type of figure.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, you're not really enjoying the whole process.
And I think as well, we've forgotten that, in general, sports is a celebration of what the body can do.
Yes.
But it's become more no, I need to be better than you, and I need to look better than you, and I need to be thinner than you. No, that's what it's become because of social media. And not just social media, but even within sports circles. people who do sports in general have a competitive nature, and that's fine. Having competitive nature pushes you to challenge yourself to be better. That's fine, but there has to be a limit.
Yes.
Where there's challenging yourself and there's breaking yourself.
And that's when it becomes unhealthy.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that journey. So now I know what actually inspired you to want to take a step back and be like, okay, I'm going to take a slower route to get into just being healthy and fit, So now you do only personal training, or what else did you transition to after stop being an athlete? Like what else are you doing now to go on a slower pace?
Well, I started studying physiotherapy. Does that count? Because honestly, I'm studying that because of my passion for movement. I want to practice what I preach, and movement is foundational to all human beings. No matter your age, gender, job, whatever you are, like whoever you are, you need movement.
You need it.
To access a space where I can actually instruct, in a way, people about this, I felt that physiotherapy was one of the best avenues to do so. At the same time, I dropped out of competing. I haven't competed in over a year now.
How's that going for you?
I love it because I don't have this deadline in a way of and this pressure. And honestly, before you compete, you have to peak, we call it peaking, which is the last say 8 weeks of training. You basically hammer yourself because you need to push your body beyond its limit so that it adapts. And then you relax for a week or two and your body reaches a new level of performance. But those 8 weeks are hell, honestly. They're torture. You don't even want to be at a training session.
But that's a lot of pressure to put on the body, if I'm being honest, because like what you said, like as human beings overall, we need movement, no matter your job, whatever it is. Even while you're old or you're young, you need some sort of movement. And this just takes me back to my journey of how we even got to have this conversation and everything, because so I've been doing only walking, if I'm being honest. Like at the beginning of the year, I was like, I tried Pilates. I also wanted to go to the gym, but somehow I just never got to the gym, And because I used to run sometime last year, but then I stopped running. So I walked and then I stopped walking and I was like, oh, let me try Pilates. Let me do this. But then most of those things, I would start them and stop them, start them and stop them. And every time I found myself pushing my body to its limits, I wasn't feeling my best. And I also wasn't also losing weight. Because at that time, I would say maybe a year ago or a few years ago, whenever I would go on a fitness journey or want to be a little bit healthier, it was only with the mindset of losing some weight. But then at the beginning of this year, because I have this chronic disease that comes back time and time again, so sometimes I would get a relapse. So this year when I got a relapse again, my doctor was like, we're going to do the treatment again, because now they're used to the whole thing. So we're going to do it again, but you're overweight. And he was like, you need to shed a few pounds. He didn't even tell me you need to lose 50 or whatever. He just said, you need to shed a few pounds. And then he wasn't like, I'm going to put you on a diet or anything. He just told me, sleep well, move your body however it feels like to you. Drink a certain amount of water. He gave me 2.5 liters a day or more. And then he was like, manage your stress. And then let's do our treatments and let's see how it goes. He didn't tell me don't eat pasta, don't eat. He didn't do any of that. He was just like, I want you to eat 90% healthy. Just go for what is healthy 90% of the time and you can have your days or whatever.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. I was really trying to sleep better, walk, and I was just walking. I wasn't doing too much. And then somehow I started shedding off the unhealthy weight. And I didn't even realize it until people were like, you're losing weight. And I'm like, really? I'm not sure. Because I was just doing normal everyday things.
But okay.
Yeah. I was just I'm doing normal everyday things. I just changed my habits a bit. And also because I was going through treatment, I felt like I was losing weight because, I was unwell and all of those things. It was part of it. But I think the lifestyle changes and the habit changes was what was so big for me, or the paramount reason why I shed off the unhealthy weight. But then I think with shedding off the weight, I think why I'm saying this whole story is to say that I didn't do too much to lose the weight or whatever. I wasn't even looking at doing that, but I did that. And it happened because I just went back to doing everyday, normal, simple life stuff, just sleeping well and just walking. it's the most basic things. And I think for me, I got to a point where I was remembering that every single time that I stopped pushing my body too hard, because I used to love working out a lot. I love the dopamine hit and everything. And it felt so good after you do it. But I was like, every time I pushed myself like that, I would not lose the weight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But when I would come back to basics, the weight would fall off like so easily. And I feel like for me, this is something that I want to remind people of, because I feel like especially when it comes to our bodies, it's a vessel. It's what carries you. You need to treat it properly. You need to take care of it. Yeah. Yes, it can do like amazing things if you push it hard enough, but it can also do really good things if you give it time to rest, to heal, to actually function as it's supposed to function. So, but I want to talk a little bit about that, because I also realized how, I think as I shed off the weight, I started noticing because of the comments people would make on me. And I never used to realize that it was so easy for people to comment on people's bodies before. I was, oh, wait, no one was talking to me, and then, now I shed a little bit of weight and everyone is like coming for me and everything. And I'm just like, why is this happening? But then I realized that people put a lot of weight on physical appearance. And I feel like it's really hitting me now. I'm really getting to understand it properly now. And I want to know your own experience with that. And you used to be overweight too at some particular point. Yeah.
So I think from my experience, people do have a lot of, they associate worth with weight for some weird reason, even though no matter what I weighed, I am still technically the same person at all points. Like, I am done, and like that is my personality and that is who I am. So it didn't really matter what I weighed. And I've been through quite the spectrum of weights. There was a time when I was about 109 kilos, quite overweight there. I noticed then I didn't have many friends. I had maybe 2 or 3 real friends, and others wouldn't really engage with me that much. But I noticed that same community as I lost the weight, because this is when I was living in dorms. So it was the same community for those few years. As I lost weight, I gained somehow a lot of friends. I was losing weight and gaining friends. So I was like, that's interesting. Then when I was in my peak of sport, I was my skinniest. And that's when I received the most compliments and also approached by the most men, let's say, in that period of time. But when I decided to take a slower route in sports, I've now been like basically just going to gym twice or 2 to 4 times a week and doing something I enjoy. Like for example, right now I'm doing tennis as well, just for fun, like something different. And in that time frame, I did gain back some weight, but I needed that weight to be healthy. And I noticed then as well, there was different comments I received, in the sense of some people were like, oh, she quit sport and now she's getting fat again. But that was not the case for me. Like, now I'm confident in my body. I'm like, no, actually I'm healthy now. I'm happy in what my body can do. And this is the weight where my body is actually like functional and happy and stable. Like, I can intuitively eat and maintain this weight. I don't need to be like starving myself. I don't need to be stuffing myself. I'm just existing. And I stopped caring what people said and what people think, because I knew this is healthy for me. And that should always be the goal. Health should be the goal. Because our bodies are different. Where my body could be at a good healthy point is not where your body could be at a healthy good point. So health should always be the goal. And I think we forget that there's like a huge genetic variable to health and weight, particularly weight. Like, I know that there's a lot of misinformation regarding that your weight is simply your control. Now, it is to an extent your control that you feed yourself healthy food and also a calorie like maintenance, let's say. However, each person has their own set point of weight, and this is fine. But there's a misconception that say, for example, I've been subjected to the misconception that I should be 50 kilos. Now, I'm 170 centimeters. If I'm 50 kilos, I won't be here. Like, I'll just be like, no. But there's this idea by many men, I would say, especially on social media, that a woman should be 50 kilos, otherwise she's overweight. And I'm like, this is not true.
This is also another thing, social media. Like, it's beautiful. We have so much information at our fingertips. But for me, I always encourage people to filter what you watch and what you listen to and the type of information you're taking in, because it might work for them, but it's not supposed to work for you like that.
Yeah.
You know?
But also a lot of it is simply like misinformation. It's not even about it works for you and doesn't work for me. A lot of it is actually just simply wrong. And it's because a lot of, you'll just find random people who just make up their own thing and they're like, yeah, this is bad for you. Like, for example, you'd see a lot of people saying everyone needs to go gluten-free to lose weight.
Oh, wow.
Now, unless you have celiac disease or a genuine like tested gluten issue, going gluten-free is going to make zero difference to your body composition, and gluten is not a bad thing. It's been demonized for no reason.
Yeah.
You'll find people on social media making up things and then say they have a nice figure, and then everyone else will follow them, and that's how we fall.
It's usually always because they physically look a certain kind of way. People are like, if she's doing that, I want to do it too, because I'm gonna probably be like that. But
you might not even look the same if you do the exact same thing as her.
Oh my goodness! I saw this video the other day, random. But then this girl was like, she just came down from a hike, okay, and she was like, an influencer drove up in front of her car, came out of the car, set up a tripod, splashed some water on her face, and then, you know, did a pose and everything. Oh, guys, I just hiked down to... Exactly. And then she put together the tripod, put it in her car and left. And then the other girl was like reading, because she just hiked.
Oh my
gosh. And she looked like a normal person and everything. And then she was like, guys, I just saw someone fake a hike. And then, but honestly, like what she said, misinformation. I'm not saying like everyone out there is giving you bad, you know, bad advice and everything, but just because you saw it online and just because she looks like what you're looking for, it doesn't mean that's how it's supposed to be, or it doesn't mean that that is what actually is. That's why I really feel like our generation, not everyone, but our generation has lost the art of being curious and trying to find out things for themselves and trying to experience life.
Yeah.
We're letting other people live life, you know, for us. We're living through other people's lens. We're not going out to seek information. We're not going out to try new things. We're just...
I think it's also because, like, in this generation, people like to look for a quick fix.
Yeah.
Especially now we're like ChatGPT and all of these things.
I call it microwave.
Yeah.
We're looking for quick answers.
And fitness and health in general are not a quick fix.
It
They're a
takes
lifelong thing. Like, to build muscle, it's not about going to the gym for a week. It's about...
Like, did I get my abs yet after one ab workout?
I could not believe, there was a girl, her name was Chloe Ting. She was super, super famous.
I love Chloe Ting, actually.
Really?
I love her workouts, okay?
But she spreads a lot of she would have like videos about like 2 weeks like 2 weeks to get abs. And no, I thought nobody would believe this, but I actually have friends who actually believe this. And I'm like, that's bad. Like, I'm not judging them. I'm just saying, like, don't put out information that will mislead people.
Yeah.
And then these people are then disappointed. They're like, oh no, I did the
where's
thing.
my abs?
Yeah, and like abs, first of all, has a genetic component. Second of all, years to build it.
Yeah.
Third of all, it doesn't come from a workout. It comes from a calorie deficit. And there are skinny women who still don't have abs because genetically they don't have the muscle pattern to make the pretty like six pack. And anyways, as a woman, generally we shouldn't have that because it ruins fertility. Yeah,
and just talking about that, the reproduction and everything. So it's not everything as a woman you should be trying.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about that a little bit, like because I feel like people always believe that when someone is skinnier, they're more healthy. And then when you are a little bit on the heavier side, you're unhealthy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely untrue. Health doesn't have a look. And I've personally known many skinny people who are actually very unhealthy.
Yeah.
Their blood work is a mess. They come to get pregnant, it's a mess. Nothing works out for them. And they end up having to gain weight on purpose to rectify a lot of these issues. And vice versa. I've also seen thicker, let's say, ladies who are very, very healthy, perfect blood work and everything like that. And this is because, first of all, each person has a set weight that's genetic.
Yeah.
So my healthy weight is completely different to another's. And you can't look at me and say, oh, she's a little heavier, she must be unhealthy. At the same time, like, we need to recognize that health, it isn't a look, but also like hormonally for women especially, losing too much weight. Now some people are naturally skinny, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But people who force their bodies into being skinny when their set point of weight is not, is a bit high, is normal, like let's call it, or even a little thicker, they then lose all their hormonal balance. And this is a very common issue. It's called the female triad, which is like women basically lose their hormonal profile, and they end up with amenorrhea, which is loss of period.
Oh, wow.
And the problem with this isn't just that you can't get pregnant, but also a lack of like estrogen and progesterone actually affect even like cognition, self-esteem. Like a low estrogen actually makes you think you look overweight, even like it causes body dysmorphia. And heart health as well is determined by estrogen. This is why women at menopause take hormone replacement therapy alongside the other symptoms. They take it to reduce these the let's say downfalls of having a low estrogen profile.
But
so I
actually love that you back that up with like science. I'm gonna say it science because I know I know a lot of people actually don't like science like that, but for me, like especially as someone of faith, I love science and I'm curious about whatever it's about, but I think it goes side by side with faith. This is my own point of view. Like I feel like it does go side by side with faith. There's some things that yes, science cannot explain that my faith can explain, and there's some things that my faith cannot explain, and I can get science to let me know what my brain, what's going on with my brain right now, and just like a lot of other things. But I think I also like we've touched on the fact that yes, maybe being skinny doesn't mean you're always healthy, and then being overweight doesn't mean you are unhealthy. But also at the same time, there is this rise right now. I call it a rise of like a lot of people really losing weight. I think I've seen it a lot on social media, especially on TikTok. I've been on TikTok lately, and I feel like everyone attributes it to you're trying to become what the beauty standards have said. So it's like there are these people who are fighting for people to stay overweight, and then there are people who are like I'm at my healthiest right now. And I think for me personally, the thought that I was having when I was actually seeing all of that was like, I think we should allow people to want to be healthy.
Yes.
Just because someone is losing weight, it doesn't mean they're trying to, adopt the beauty standards, or they're like, no, it's not about that. I also feel that that's body hate we're spreading around. If someone is like, I'm eating clean now, I feel my best, I have so much more energy, and just like some other things that are associated with it, it's not only about how we look. I feel like for me, like, it's really with like just dropping the unhealthy weight, because I also had PCOS and all these things. For me, I'm trying not to get back to some of the things that I was having, the hormonal imbalance and all the other things. I'm like, I don't want that. I love who I am right now, and I eat good, I sleep good, like everything is so good. My energy levels are really good, and I'm getting healthy and I'm getting better. So like, why would I want to regress to a place where I hated everything? It wasn't working out for me, So I also feel like there's all of that, but let's allow people to move more. Let them do what they need to do to get to a place where they feel like they are now healthy. And we're not saying like if they're doing the unhealthy thing, you shouldn't say anything. But like if someone is like genuinely wanting to be healthier for their own good, maybe they're thinking about their future, their children, to be able to play with your kids, you actually need to be okay to do that. If someone is just thinking about those basic things, we should allow them to do what they need to do. I want us to talk a little bit about food, because I feel like a lot of us have had maybe like some people emotional eat, and not everyone has a good view of like food, especially when it comes to what it will do to my body, how it impacts, all those things. So I want you to share with us your own journey with food, and how would you advise someone who is like maybe trying to navigate that, that side or that area of their health, and what to eat, what not to eat, what is more good for their health and what is not good.
So I do emotionally eat, and I think that's fine, honestly, as long as it's not excessive. If I
still do too sometimes when I'm having a bad day.
Honestly, even good day. Like when I'm very happy, I want to eat. When I'm very sad, I want to
I
eat.
think we forget sometimes that food is good. It's like the joy
Comforting.
of life.
Yeah.
We create relationships
As it
around
should
food,
be.
you know.
Exactly.
So food is good. Food is good.
So for me, in general, I used to demonize foods when I was younger, but when I went to university, like for my first degree, I did a nutrition degree, right? And that's actually, I was shockingly, what I came out with is the ability to eat junk food. Because people think like, oh, you did a nutrition degree, you must only eat clean. But I learned there's no such thing as clean per se when I did that degree, because all foods are actually on the same, let's say, playing field. All foods are accessible, like you are allowed to eat all foods, and there are certain foods that will fit your body's needs more at certain points, and foods that you should not exactly avoid, but they're not exactly fitting the needs of your body at that time. It's about balancing 80% of what your diet daily and just overall and consistently should be 80% towards what my body needs and 20% towards what, say, my mind needs. So 80%, I will eat my protein, I'll eat my lean chickens, I will eat my vegetables. And honestly, if you do this consistently, it actually becomes a joy.
It does. Salads are actually good for me.
Yeah,
right now.
you wouldn't catch me dead with a salad like 10 years
but now
ago.
it tastes
And I
good.
was like, I'm craving a salad.
Yes, and I'm excited to go home and make it.
Exactly. It's like
Praise the
whatever
Lord.
you actually consistently put in your body, you actually start to crave.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that at your healthiest, say, point, you shouldn't be craving cake. We all love cake. Cake simply has
It's the
this
joy of
ratio,
life,
like,
guys.
of fat to sugar that hits the tongue. Like, scientifically, it actually hits. Like, there's nothing you can't deny that. And if you tell me you don't like cake, surely there's something else you like that's not quite healthy.
Yes.
Understanding that 20% of what we eat can be that, and not treating it as like, oh, this is going to ruin my body or anything like that. That's where you actually achieve balance when it comes to eating. When you look at all foods are allowed, all foods are, there's no good and bad food. It's just, this is what I need right now. And actually, people think of like athletes as people who eat very healthy. But actually, Olympic level athletes eat a ton of junk because they need the sugar and they need the calories. And so this goes to like prove that it's not about like, oh, I'm so healthy, I will never touch like Coca-Cola or something. No, you'll see the people you imagine as the healthiest actually have all of these foods.
You saying that I'm nodding my head because my sister used to play pro basketball.
Oh.
She eats like boom.
Yeah.
And then every time when she's doing it, I'm like, that's too much food. And she's like, I am an athlete. I need to eat like this. And I never got it. I never used to understand. I'd just be like, well, you're just doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's so true. Like the dietetics advice for athletes is to eat those unhealthy junk foods. At the same time, you'll find people with sensory issues, for example, those on the autism spectrum, often only accept certain textures of food, say crunchy, which often means fried. Now, can we call this person's diet unhealthy? No, because if they don't eat that crunchy food that's oily and fried, they eat nothing, and that's more unhealthy. So each person's healthy is differently defined, and each person's needs are differently defined. There is no, this is good, this is bad. And social media has made it even worse. Almost impossible. Like, honestly, at this point, anything I eat, at this point, water is unhealthy if you go on social media. It's scary.
Every time you turn on the app, they tell you what not to do and what to do. What not to eat and what to eat. And at some particular point, I don't know what we should be doing.
Yeah, and honestly, like, scientifically, none of it has been proven. So that's what I'm frustrated, because I've learned the science of food, and I go on social media and I feel bad for people being exposed to this, because it builds this, like, it's fear mongering. Like, what are you?
And it's actually working, if we're being honest. People are actually falling prey to all of those things.
It's very sad, because like God gave us all this food, and it's good for us. We are able to consume this, and we'll be fine. But social media has gotten so obsessed with like weight and marketing, honestly, because people just want to sell their product, that we have made everything in like off the table. No way, this is gonna kill you.
So, like, if someone is struggling with like, this food is bad, this food is good, and they've tried everything, but they're still struggling with that, do you have like some mindset shifts that you could encourage them with? Maybe like two. only two mindset shifts or maybe a new way of looking at food?
Honestly, one of them is to actually try, like in the sense of, because sometimes we build up an idea in our head that if I eat this, I'm gonna become fat. Let's say, okay, if I eat this cake, my body composition is gonna change.
Yeah.
A good strategy is, and I've used this before with nutrition clients, is to actually have that cake. Tell me what actually happened. Show me.
Yeah.
Does it prove or disprove your theory? And this is like how you change someone's cognition. And
Yes.
honestly, this is what they do in psychology as well. Like you change someone's cognitive pattern about something, and then they eat it, and then they realize, oh wait, I'm exactly the same the next day. Like, of course, if you only eat cake exclusively, it's a problem. But if you ate a slice of cake, nothing's gonna actually happen.
Yeah.
So to me, it's one thing I would encourage people to do is actually try these things that you think are gonna damage you.
Yeah, especially when you're craving something in the moment. Just have a slice of it, a little bit. You don't have to, like, if you're now doing too much, that's gluttony. And even the Bible talks about that. So there's that part of like being a gluttonous person and then actually just giving into that little, especially as women too, like we have those, just giving into that little slice of cake or chocolate here. Like for me, chocolate, like it comes out of my face. Like it gives me really bad acne. So, but I still like chocolate and I still want to eat it. So sometimes I just have a bite or two if I make, and then I just let it be, you know?
I think the second thing I would actually advise someone is kind of to your point is, if you actually restrict your diet, you actually end up basically binging on that thing at the end.
Yes.
If I'm going to avoid this one cube of chocolate, like I have chocolate almost I have something sweet after dinner every day. Okay. And it does not hurt my body composition at all, but it makes me happy. Like I enjoy myself. I feel like, oh, yes.
And actually your body, I think we forget that our body listens. You know, if your body is like, you're happy, it actually, I don't want to, let me use the word, it abides. Let's put it like it abides. Because I feel like when you're unhappy and eating that salad and you're so angry, you're not enjoying that. Your body is not happy in that moment. So like one thing I've learned is like, just have what you need to have in the, not like an excess, but have what you need to have those hormones go up. Yeah. And then it rests down. And then your body heals itself and you keep going.
It's because as well, these things are a form of stress reduction because let's not forget that all things are stress. Like a calorie deficit has been scientifically shown that it is a stressor on the body. Yeah. So that's why, anyways, you'll find many people very cranky when they're on like
calorie deficit.
A diet, like you know, like .tv. Lack of sleep or any changes in sleep. Work and exercise. Let's not forget that exercise isn't in and of itself is a big stressor on the body. Now the body doesn't know how to distinguish between stresses. It just sees stress. And when you're adding like a stress upon a stress upon a stress, and then the cup is just overflowing. And at least when we have these little things of like fulfilling like my little sweet tooth, or I wanted to go out with my friends for the movies and have popcorn, or whatever it is, fulfilling these little things releases dopamine, releases all these happy hormones. They reduce stress, which in and of itself will help your body maintain its weight, maintain all like cholesterol, all of these things are affected by stress more so than the piece of chocolate I'm going to eat.
And I think that's something we forget, because I feel like for me, when I had the relapse at the beginning of the year, there was one thing that like my doctor kept saying to me. I had to actually write down the things that were stressing me. And that's when I realized that I have a lot of stressors around me and within me. And then I had to start taking them off one by one. And I'm telling you, Dana, it's such a breath of fresh air. Yeah. You sleep well. For me, most importantly, is to sleep well, and I'm at peace from within me. Like I offloaded some of the things that I felt like were too heavy for me that I was doing. Because sometimes like you have so many responsibilities, you have this pulling you here, this pulling you here. But sometimes you can step away, those things will still work and they're still gonna happen. Like you're not the one holding it together. So for me, I had to actively learn those things, and like I offloaded all the stress in my life. Not all, but like I was like, I'm taking out at least 70% of it. And when you get to look at life in that way, when you get to reduce the stress that is in your life, you actually live a more healthier life from the inside out. Like in every other area of your life, you're like so much more healthy. Even, so stress is a big factor.
Honestly, even within weight itself, I mean, I will say that when I was at my peak of sport and I was doing 20 hours per week of training, one of my biggest fears about dropping out of the sport was actually, will I gain weight again?
Ooh.
Because I've been at a point of being overweight and I lost that weight by being active, right? So I was afraid if I drop out of like this competitive level of sport and drop from 20 hours to say 5 hours per week, will I gain that weight back? And this was one of my biggest fears. Now, I didn't tell many people about this because I'm not really like, I don't determine my self-worth by weight.
Yeah.
But it was still something that
somewhere in your mind.
Yeah, it was there. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take that leap of faith and trust my body because especially I had the education. I knew logically that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but emotionally, no. I was like, I'm going to gain it back. I'm going to become like...
but this is a fear that so many people have. I have that fear right now.
But I will say it did not happen. Like I did gain weight. First of all, I gained a lot of muscle mass because I switched into powerlifting anyway. But I did not gain fat, to my surprise. Like I gained, there was an amount of fat I gained on purpose because I needed it. At that point, I was not healthy enough.
Yeah.
But after that, like I've maintained the same weight for the last year. Just listening, like when my friends invite me out, I go out and have
intuitive eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Intuitive eating is actually a difficult one because if you come from a background where your relationship with food is kind of messed up already, I don't think you should intuitive eat at that point yet, because you need to first relearn what is the correct pattern around food. Once you learn the right pattern about food, your body naturally will crave what it needs.
Yes.
And then you just follow your body's like instincts, like, oh, I want this.
But that's why I feel like I really try to encourage people to go on the journey of unlearning all the things that you thought food was, and then relearn it in a much more healthier way.
Yes.
So then you can intuitive eat. Because for me, I genuinely feel like intuitive eating is so much more better than having the pressure of like, this is bad for me, this is good for me. You're always constantly thinking about food when you live like that, actually. But when you just like go with the flow, and then now your body is craving what it actually needs, it puts you in a better position, actually. Yeah.
And you feel fulfilled naturally, like as in like you're not forcing anything upon yourself. And I will say this is a difficult point to reach because when I was overweight, I did have a lot of bad food habits. And if I intuitively ate at that point, I would just be eating junk all day. Now, the way I unlearned that was to actually through small substitutions. So say one of my favorite foods is fried chicken. I love fried chicken to this day. So instead of just eating, say, a plate of fried chicken, I will sub out some of it with a vegetable. Okay. So that's a small change. Am I still getting my fried chicken? Yes. But I'm also getting vegetables. And then the next month I'll reduce, say, the amount of fried chicken, or I'll make the chicken baked instead of fried, or something like this.
Yeah, just finding little ways
things
to make the food, you know.
Over time, over like maybe the 6-7 years of my journey, that's where I reached the point of I hate anything green to salad, yes. Because I made so many little changes that compile over time that now my brain can't go without, like, I need something green, otherwise I feel like something's wrong.
For me, I always come back to the compound effect. What you do every single day, like it becomes bigger and it just becomes your lifestyle. Yeah. Because I think at the end of the day, it's to encourage people to try to make their health a priority and let it be a lifestyle, not like a quick fix diet of like getting an abs in 1 day and in 2 days and in whatever. You don't actually lose that much weight in like 1 month or 2 months. It takes time, and it's because you're trying to create a new lifestyle. And I think sometimes we forget that before you reached a particular point in your health, you did it over years, maybe 10 years, 20 years. So how do we expect to have a change in like 2 months or 1 month? I don't know what we're thinking, but I think I just want to really encourage people to take it slow, you know, and try to learn and not just hear what everyone else is saying, but you try to do some research. Like for me, I had to really take our time to go back and study a lot. Like, because I was also going through like, you know, the hormonal changes and everything with PCOS. My hair was falling out, so many acne, painful acne, and just so many other things. So for me, I had to go back to really invest in what I was eating and look at the things that I was putting into my body. For me, it helped out so much. Like the acne is gone, the hair is fuller now, the nails are back. Like I like honestly, sometimes when like right now, sometimes when I get some comments, I'm like, I really look at them and then I'm like, I really didn't change so much. But then yes, I did change a little bit. And it's affecting my skin because of what I'm actually eating. And I've just reduced a lot of processed things. Let's put it like that. A lot of processed things. Because for me, it was not just about the food. I just had to change everything about my life. And I feel like just going back to the normal, simple, everyday things of like, I don't have to have makeup every day. I don't have to be having on 20-step skincare routine all the time. Those things actually affect you. I have to try to eat my greens all the time. Not all the time, but then I love greens now. Sorry, guys. I'm just in that part in my life right now.
Like broccoli. Please give me broccoli.
I'm so excited to eat broccoli.
Me too.
Girl. And I like, because I used to love cooking. So there was a time where I just lost the joy of cooking. Now I'm like baking again, trying new recipes, just trying to make the healthy food be more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So I'm at that place where I really love this whole thing. And I'm like, I want to make this a lifestyle. And I'm not even thinking about how I will look at the end of the day. I just like how I feel right now.
Yes, I absolutely love that. And I think more people should think about celebrate what your body can do.
Yes.
Like now I go to tennis and I'm like, wow, like praise God for like the ability to do this, like
to move my body.
It's amazing.
Exactly.
Even like when you see, like even when I'm on Instagram, for example, and I see like sports, like I love watching dance, okay? Because dance is one of the, to me, I don't know how to dance. So when I see it, it's so fascinating to me. To the extent I went to a hip hop class and I was like,
you did?
Oh, this is too hard. I don't know how they move like that.
They make it look so easy, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
They make
I
it
know.
look too
It's just
easy.
so smooth.
Yeah.
But it's like all these sports, you see such a variety of skills and you're like God's creation is amazing that we can do that. And instead, we're just here, just sitting and like criticizing our bodies and hating on ourselves. But we have such a beautiful vessel that is able to do so much if we actually fuel it well. And love it. Like confidence doesn't come from your weight. It doesn't come from how you. It's an inside out process, and that's something I learned because of being at different points of weight. No matter how skinny I got, I actually still thought I'm not, I thought I'm overweight. Like. You can ask my roommate. She's known me for 13 years. She's seen me at 110 kilos. She's seen me at 65, okay?
Yeah.
And at all points, I would say I'm fat. Like, I don't understand how... and she'll be like, this is like factually not true. But in my head, it is. And I don't know, like this shows you that confidence is not about, and like not self-esteem exactly, but like body positivity is not exactly about
how you look physically.
It's about how you think about your body. And I think I hope this is something that improves around the world, because I think social media is destroying this, especially with editing is becoming a bigger and bigger thing. And it's becoming harder to spot, and then you don't know what's real and what's not real. And then you start to compare. And I've even tried that thing, you know, where there's videos about like, this is me posed, unposed with lighting. I've gone to the gym and actually like worn the clothes, tried the positions and the lighting and the angles, and it makes a difference. I'm like, I look like one of those girls when I am in that state. And then, but like 90% of the time, I'm not standing like that in this lighting and the, like, you know. And then I feel like, oh, they're better than me. But
what would you say to someone? Because I do feel like you touching on social media again and again, and I think there's, I feel like this is the real pandemic. This social media is the real, it's an epidemic at this point, and young people are like losing touch of actual life. And for me, I'm really trying to practice what I preach with social media. Yesterday, so my friend was like, I tagged you in something. I was like, you did? And she was like, I said, look at my phone, there's no Instagram. So because for me, that's really how I do. And she was like, oh, this makes sense now. Because if you see my Instagram, I would just come and I'd post a bunch of stories, and then I'd probably go. I've actually just deleted the app. So but I sometimes I feel guilty about it, because I'm like, I'm posting and I'm leaving, and I'm like expecting other people to see it. But at the end of the day, I just feel like, do what works for you. Like, if you feel like that thing is unhealthy for you, try other, find ways and routines or systems that could help you, stay away from it, how it could work for your life. So for me, it looks like deleting the app after I post, so I don't doom scroll. And it's been helping me so much. I love being present in my life. Life is so much more slower when you're not on these apps.
Yeah.
So, but I do feel like just what could you say maybe to someone who's like on there all the time, maybe comparing their body to another person's body? And it's not only body. I feel like people are comparing everything these days,
yes.
down even to like how joyful people are these days.
Yeah.
So, please
Honestly,
speak to that, because you're
personally,
what are
I
you, Gen
use
Z?
social media. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm one of those. I'm
We're in the middle.
between. Yeah, I'm like,
We're in the
am I
middle
Gen
of
Z?
Gen
Am I?
Z and
In some
millennials.
things, I'm millennial, and some things, I'm Gen Z.
But I love it. If I'm being
Yeah.
honest, I love being in that in between. Yeah,
It's a confusion, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
I am on social media, and I love social media, and I wouldn't delete mine. This is a
Yeah.
personal choice, and because for me, I've established a way in which I can see it healthily.
Yeah.
For me, I put like kind of like a wall between me and
Yeah.
social media, wherein now I'm like, first of all, look at the people around you.
Yes.
That is what real life is. And that is what people look like, and that is what actual people do, and that is these are the people who matter.
Yes.
Then when I look at anything online, I take it with a grain of salt. That's all I do. I'm
Exactly.
like, this is not real. And I know myself that I've posted content where I've been mentally in the worst state of my life, and yet nobody would ever know on social media. They wouldn't
But
know.
actually, no one ever knows.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, if I know that in my photo I look so happy, yet realistically something
not,
horrible
yeah.
was happening to me at that time, then why can't I take that same logic to everyone's posts? Like, they're pretending to be like joyful. They're not always pretending. Of course, some people can just actually be.
Yeah.
But whatever I see, like they could have just posed that.
Yeah.
Even like say people. What I eat in a day has become such a
Big
famous
thing,
thing.
yeah.
But I was actually watching a de-influencer, you could call her, where she
I
was.
love those videos.
Yeah, she was talking about how actually a lot of people will take make the food, blah, 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 take the first sip, take the clip, and throw out the rest of it. Because actually
wow.
it's disgusting. Like, look, there's a lot of like desserts made with protein powder.
Yeah.
Okay, I've tried them. Believe me, I've tried them. I eat a lot of protein, and sometimes I'm like, let me try to make it into a dessert.
Yeah.
They're horrid, like inedible.
But it's I feel like it's sad now.
Yeah.
It's really sad that the lengths to which people will go to for views and for
know.
numbers. I don't know when we started putting our worth and everything on these numbers and on these views, but I think it's not headed the right way. But like you said, like, I love social media. I use social media. I've used it for God knows how long. There's a good side to it, and also there's the other. Like, to everything, there are always two extremes.
Yeah.
So I guess we are just in that era where it's at the peak of its extreme, where it's now unhealthy. But I think it's actually quite sad if this is where we are at, where people are like lying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also need to remember that because social media has become so monetized, just take it as a business. People are doing
everyone
this for
is just trying to
business.
sell something.
They're not actually. There are some genuine people, of course,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't just take everything you see as like, this is
like
truth.
it's like the Bible.
yeah.
They said, like, I really think we should stop being schooled. Like, I know this is a podcast, but take whatever we're saying here with a grain of salt. Like, you go back, you go do your work, you go do your research. We don't know it all. We're just talking from our own experiences and our own point of view and where we are at in life right now. So we cannot say this is like the be all and everything. So for me, that's how I always encourage people to look at social media. Like, take whatever you can take from there, throw everything. But it doesn't mean that you're going to take everything and just directly apply it to your life. No.
And you should also, I think, check the qualifications of anyone whom you look at.
Yes. Especially when it comes to health. And
health,
stuff.
even psychology. Honestly, I see such weird advice sometimes. I'm like, let me go check the account of this person, and then they're like, they're just a normal person.
About
who made something
psychology, I
out.
think we need another episode on that one, because now everyone is a narcissist. Everyone is I'm
girl,
like, guys, we need to get back.
Yeah.
We need to circle back. Like, we've even lost the true meaning of boundaries. People don't know what boundaries
Now,
really are.
honestly, everything has become boundaries. Like, there's either too much boundaries or too little, or even either we forget their existence or we call anything that just serves us and doesn't serve others as a boundary.
So there's a lot of unlearning we need to do, because I think we've overlearned and now we need to unlearn some of the unhealthy things too. But that's another thing. But then, what is your word of encouragement to anyone who has listened to us talk and yap till now, when it comes to like maybe even body positivity? Because I think for me personally, I feel like now I'm feeling the weight of body shaming. And to be honest, sometimes I look up and I'm like, I didn't even lose that much weight. Like, what is all the fuss? I literally didn't lose that much. Like, I just changed a little bit. But like, people body shame you and do it in a way it's normal to them, and then they just feel like it's okay. So I'm like, what world are we living in? And then sometimes it's subtle, and then sometimes it's directly to your face, and they're just comfortable doing it. For me, it's the comfort and just the place where they're like, this doesn't mean anything. And I'm like, how do we get here? So there's a lot of that going on, and a lot of people are also navigating all of that. So what word of advice could you give to a woman who is like, I am in between all of this. I'm also maybe trying to get healthy, or I'm still confused about what it's all about. Like, or if you want to start a journey, you know.
Well, for the body shaming, I would say two things. First of all, you're never going to be everyone's cup of tea. Now, this applies to everything, your personality, what you like, even I say you don't like matcha, someone likes matcha. Like, you know, it's as simple as that.
Hello.
But even the way you look.
Yeah.
Different people have different preferences, and this is okay. And it's not okay to verbalize to someone like, I don't like the way you look. Like, you know, that's not okay. However, whenever you receive such a comment, I think, honestly, just take it as everyone has their own cup of tea.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, remember that most people who make such comments are suffering of some sort of insecurity in and of themselves. They're dissatisfied with something about themselves, and they feel that they need to put someone else down in order to lift themselves up.
You know what my mentor told me? She was like, because there was a time I was really getting mad about it, and I was telling her, I told her a couple of times, and then someone made like it was a really loud comment, and I was not okay with it. And then I was so angry, and I was telling her about it. She was like, well, you know, Courage, after she consoled me, and she was like, I feel like people are just saying these things now because she was like, especially when it comes to weight, people actually want to lose weight, but they don't know how to. So when they see you actually losing weight, they want to know how, but they don't know how to ask, what are you doing? Yeah. You know, and then actually I wasn't doing anything, so I don't have any answers for them at that time. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Like,
I'm just
happening to me.
So actually I just got to a point, I was like, yeah, that's true. So what you're saying is actually true. Like, they want to, but they just don't know how. And then,
or they don't want to put in the work. Sometimes, because losing weight is, for many people, the recipe is kind of simple. It's hard to do, but like logically it's simple. Like, you need a deficit, right? Yeah. It's hard to achieve, but it is hard. Easy to understand.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to put in that work. They just want the result. And that actually makes them frustrated inside.
But for me, that's the problem. If you don't want to put in the work, then why taunt someone else who is putting in the work, you know?
Because they just see your result. They don't see your effort. This is like when people tell me, I wish I could lift like you. Honestly, I don't like this comment because I've put in so much work. I've cried. I've sacrificed, I've pushed myself so hard to achieve these things, and you just look at me on the podium and you think you wish you could lift like that, but you don't want to put in even a drop of sweat of work to get there. I don't like this because it's an undermining of what it takes.
Yeah, of the process and everything.
And it's like I always respond to this by, you can also do this.
Yeah, That's can always do it.
Yeah, even weight loss. People that I meet now think I've always been, say, this weight or this body shape and physique. Like, they tell me you look toned, for example. I'm like, at some point, I really, really didn't. I was very overweight, and I worked my way up to here slowly. It took me 2 years to lose that weight.
It often takes that long, if we're being honest, for it to stick.
Yeah.
So
because when I tried like crash diets, I would just quit.
And also the weight will come back twice as much as before.
And when I actually tried to like instead lose, say, like 1.5 or 2 kilos per month, which is very small, and people are discouraged by that progress in the moment because all they see is like 0.5 kilos per week. They see that as nothing, but 0.5 kilos 52 times.
Yes, multiply.
It's 25 kilos. Exactly. Like, come on.
So actually, slow progress is also progress.
It's actually the best progress.
Yes.
And people who understand this, that's when they actually excel at health, because getting fit is a very muscle building. You cannot in a month. I think I forgot the exact figure, but you can't put more than like a 1 kilo of muscle, or even less. I think of lean mass per month. No matter how much protein you eat, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And this actually gets less and less as you become more advanced because your body plateaus.
Yeah.
But people they see a guy will see another jacked guy and be like, I want to do this. And like they expect it in like a month. And I'm like,
not possible, guys.
You need 5 years minimum to be that, unless you take quick fixes like steroids.
Yeah.
But I think this is a generational thing of we have everything at easy access, especially in a country like the UAE. Convenience is a big thing, and we got comfortable. But health and fitness and like all of these things, they actually take discomfort, and that discomfort is good, and you have to be comfortable in the discomfort. And that translates to all areas of your life. I learned so much I now know how to be uncomfortable in all areas of my life.
Because of your journey.
It makes you resilient. It makes you able to take on new challenges, and it makes you very not easy to break. Even in terms of body shaming, it helps because I am resilient inward, inside I am resilient. So it doesn't bother me anymore what people now, actually when someone tells me you've gained weight, since I was skinnier to now, I say, thanks, I'm healthy now.
Yeah.
That is my response.
Yeah.
And they're shocked that it didn't destroy me. And I'm just there I don't care.
Yeah. But I think what I'm hearing you say is take time with your journey and also getting the results that you want.
Yeah. And make your own goals and make them health-based. Don't follow a trend or something. Trends go in and out. There was a point where curvy was in. There was a point where very skinny was right now overly skinny is in because of the Ozempic trend. But don't follow a trend, follow your body. You will know your own set weight. You will know because that's where you will feel, oh, I feel functional, I feel healthy, and I can maintain this easily. And I would also encourage people to get blood work done because that's what defines health. A lot of time we don't know what's going on inside, and we just think I would see people who randomly just get that yearly check, and they would find their iron is 0 and their cholesterol is up in the roof, but they look normal.
And that's the thing. So my friend was saying the same thing to me yesterday. So she was like, because the condition I have, you cannot know I'm not okay because I look okay and I look very healthy, So she was like, if I don't tell her and if she didn't walk with me through it, she wouldn't have even known this is what I'm, struggling with. When I'm outside, it wouldn't show the symptoms don't follow me everywhere.
It's not you have a sign
I know. So, and that's the thing. And that's why I feel we should be kind to people because you never really know. And you also, we shouldn't expect people to carry that sign on their head just so you would be kinder to them. Kindness or how we approach people with our comments or whatever should just be a natural thing for us as humans. I know it's harder for some people, but we can try, guys. We can try. But I think one thing for me that I've just really learned on this journey is just you cannot hate yourself to health.
Yes.
You have to love yourself, whether you are overweight or underweight or whatever it is, wherever you're at with your health journey, you have to love who that person is in the mirror. You have to love them enough to give them healthy habits.
Love them enough it's the same way you look at other people. When you love them, you want the best for them. You live to look at yourself that way. If you love yourself, you will then naturally seek the best for yourself. And that may not be on trend or anything or satisfy people.
It shouldn't always be on trend. It shouldn't
who cares
even
about
be on trend.
Bodies isn't a trend. This is ridiculous.
And it's your life, actually.
So another thing I would advise people is to have fun. There is no one set for exercise. Many people come and tell me I hate the gym. I'm like, so don't go to the gym. Go to dance class.
This is me.
Go walking. Go skating. There's 1,000 avenues of movement. Why do you have to go to the
enjoy doing?
Surely in 1,000, like there's 1,000 ways to move. Surely you're like one of them.
Surely.
Right?
No, guys, I affirm whatever she's saying because I've tried to be a gym girl and I always just stop it in the middle.
Yeah.
But I find so much joy in walking. Honestly, I could walk 10K plus steps a day and I wouldn't even bat an eye because it's something I'm enjoying. I love it so much. It gives me like this sanity, and it's also when I get to do my prayers. So I do like prayer walk, and I just have time to think, listen to good music, enjoy it, and it's working for me.
Yeah,
I'm at peace.
Honestly,
guys.
it's like I have a client who actually last week she told me, oh, I don't like doing, because I asked her, are you also doing extra other workouts when you're not doing the workouts with me? And she said to me, no, because I'm lazy. And because she doesn't like exercising.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't like the gym. So she needs me there to push her to do it because she needs it for her. She has type 2 diabetes. That's why she wants to reverse that with exercise.
Yeah.
But she feels it's like she doesn't like it. Okay. And she said that she was like, because I'm lazy. And I said, no, you're not lazy. You just didn't find the thing you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, I saw her face like completely change because that made her think different. And we're like, no, like, I'm sure there's something. It's like, I don't like art. Okay. I like looking at it, but I don't like drawing. Okay. And I'm not good at it. If you put me to do art, I'll hate my life. Like, but if you put me to do, say, like, playing piano, I love doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm achieving creativity in both, but they're completely different ways of doing so. And that's okay. Each person has their likes and dislikes, and you need to find what works for you. There's definitely a way you will enjoy what you're doing, and because fun equals consistency, and consistency equals results.
Yeah. And I think for me, this is something I try to remind myself. Like whenever I find the workout or whatever getting weird, I'm like, am I having fun? If I'm not having fun, I just leave it there. I'm like, I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to find something else that is fun. And just speaking into fun, for you to be able to find what you actually like, you have to try things.
Yeah, you have to be able to, you also need to be able to be a beginner.
Yes.
And I think many people don't like this because they like seeing people who have excelled at something or have experience. Yeah, it's like you look at me after like 5 years of gym, okay? And you look at my level and knowledge at the gym now. But hello, I started at 0. I couldn't even touch the bar. The trainer in the gym laughed at me the first day because I was going to break my back doing something. And look at me now. So you always have to give yourself grace and start from that 0 and not be afraid of like failing
or not doing it properly.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And people with actual experience in the gym don't laugh. Like I've never found myself laughing at and I if I see them doing
something. Those thoughts are in our minds. And no one is looking at you in the gym.
Yeah, honestly, no one is.
No,
but sometimes if sometimes if I see something that I think is dangerous, I will say something. Yeah. But not in a critical way. I'm like,
judging.
Listen, this might hurt you. I'll just be like, that's like, and this is a better way to do this. Yeah. I'm not laughing. I'm not judging. I'm not criticizing, nothing. I'm just trying to help you.
Yeah.
But women especially, are often afraid in the gym of lifting weights because, well, partially they're afraid of becoming bulky, but partially they're also afraid of being judged. Yeah. And they shouldn't be because honestly, gym gals are very friendly in general.
They are. And they're so nice, so warm.
They look scary, but
I think because they've gone through a journey, and most of them that I've met, they genuinely love themselves in a way that they can easily give that love away so freely and so beautifully.
I love that.
Yeah, but Dana, so do you do any other thing like coaching and stuff? Can you tell us where people can find you? Personal training services?
Currently, I do personal training at people's homes because I love to encourage them to not have an excuse. Some people don't have time to get to gym or don't like the environment. So I actually do personal training at people's homes. So if you are looking for a trainer anytime at your home.
It's your Instagram, like public or private?
Oh, my Instagram is private.
Okay, guys, try. Just click on it. I will have all of Dana's links down below.
I can make it public. I don't mind.
We'll see. Whatever she lets me put in the description, I'm going to put it there and you can click on it and contact her and find her and get her to come train you. But I've loved learning from you today. I'll keep learning from you, by the way.
Oh, of course. I love learning from you as well, actually. So thank you for this.
Thank you too. Thank you for coming. And guys, I will catch you guys next week. But in the meantime, be kind, be loving, be gracious. God bless you. Bye-bye. Audio is fine?
Yeah, audio good. Well, we can have one more chai.
Okay. 감사합니다. Arigato. Bonjour.
Perfect.
Merci.
Like, merci.